Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. The National Weather Center says Wednesday set a record for the most number of hurricane-force thunderstorm wind gusts in a single day. Now check out this graphic. The agency says we saw 55 gusts over 75 miles per hour. The previous record set back in August of last year when the derecho hit the Midwest. It also recorded 19 tornadoes, which are all those little red dots you see. Now the storms stretching across the Great Plains and Midwest, covering 9 states. The high winds produced dust storms in western Kansas. Visibility on I-70 was virtually non-existent. It also sparked wildfires in central Kansas, hitting towns like Paradise, Waldo, and Luray. One rancher in Russell telling Ag Day affiliate KWCH many of his neighbors lost their homes and the majority of their cattle.
40,000 acres of pasture have been burned north of Russell. I'm sure it's more than that now. And I've lost a few cows, but some of mine are still here, so that's a positive thing.
Now in west central Iowa, there is damage from the high winds and more than a dozen tornadoes in that state alone. Keith Butler in Guthrie County sharing video of what's left of his cattle barn. He says it survived last year's derecho, but not this year's. He says his livestock are all good though. Well, in Minnesota, 2 possible tornadoes touched down, the first ever reported in the state in the month of December. One of the storms touching down in Heartland, the other in Plainview. Now, it's reported homes and other buildings were damaged. The tornadoes coming on the same day that Twin Cities broke a record high temperature for December with 52 degrees. Kirk Hinz with BAM WX joining us. And Kirk, this has been just a really unique week of weather that we've seen.
Yeah, it really has been historic. There are many states, actually, even as of last night, Minnesota, that was the first tornado warning ever recorded for the month of December. We had over 20 tornadoes just yesterday, over 500 wind reports. It was you just don't get this kind of weather, this time of the year, let alone in the fall period. So yeah, it's been one for the ages.
As you look forward, do you think that we're out of some of this severe threat, or is this still a possibility?
We're definitely going to relax the pattern over the next 7 to 10 days. And in fact, not much precipitation at all is going to be had here. Now, with that being said, I do think as we're going closer to the new year and especially into January, maybe not the same kind of pattern, especially talking about severe weather, but just more active low pressure systems starting to work in, more wintry weather, just more active in general. I think the severity of these kind of systems is over overall. I think the pattern in general will start to pick up as we're kind of approaching the end of the year.
How serious do you think our wheat fields were impacted by this high winds, and now we're hearing static electricity moving through some of those fields?
I don't think it's insignificant. I do think it does matter, and that's coming from a standpoint of the speed of the wind. In fact, western Kansas, eastern Colorado, some of those areas, there's over 10 reports of 100-mile-an-hour winds, non-thunderstorm winds. Those are winds not associated with a thunderstorm. So that is significant. I would say it does matter, especially for the HRW belt and those locations out west.
Kirk Hinz with BAM WX, thank you so much for joining us today. Sure appreciate you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much.